How's it going? I'm Walker Ryan. We are here on Martha's Vineyard, beautiful little skate park, and we are talking about my cover for Transworld magazine, shot by Dave Chami.
Dave Chami, okay. Familiar spot.
Yeah, so I used to live in San Diego.
Went to school in San Diego.
Yep, used to live in San Diego, went to school at UC San Diego. And this was a spot I never actually skated, but I was always curious about. But we actually didn't shoot this until I had moved out of San Diego.
Okay.
And I was living in San Francisco, and Dave really wanted to shoot a photo where he used a surf housing kit. So it was just this idea of a surf-inspired photo, but of a skater. And when you know, it seems easy enough, but then you really got to think like, okay, well, where is a spot that facilitates this? Like, how are you going to find something that's in the water that isn't too far away from an actual
deep
skate
enough
spot?
water? Yeah.
So we basically, you know, we're racking our brains, and I'm pretty sure it was his idea that this spot could work, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to skate it. So we did a whole mission down there.
Yeah, so Dave's living in the Bay Area at this time too, right?
Yeah, so we're both in the Bay Area, and we could drive down for this. It was during the time that I was filming the Transworld video, so it was like John Holland and Chris Neeson were at our disposal, so to speak, to come film, or like, you know, we were working on a project. And so yeah, Dave got really into it. He got like a wetsuit, he had the surf housing kit, he went, I think, down to Transworld and talked to some of the surf photographers, or basically got all the intel he could about like how to use this kit. And so when we got to the spot, the irony is like the pond is like 2 feet deep or something, so he really didn't need the full-on wetsuit, but it was pretty funny because he like got underwater and just did the whole thing. It's kind of a gross pond. And yeah, it was more just like a challenge of figuring out the setup, like how is he gonna light the water or light the spot and get enough in. And I mean, he'll explain it better because I can't speak for him. I was more stressing on like, whoa, am I even gonna be able to skate this? There's water fountains spouting up, getting the like take off all wet. The landing is actually kind of scary because if you fall, you like fall into another one of these blocks. So I was kind of nervous, but once we got it all set up, I did it like really quickly, which never happens. Like it probably only took like 10 tries or something like that. And it was kind of one of those things like, do I just keep doing it? Like, do you have the photo? Like, I don't know. It was sort of one of those like, oh, I'm so relieved, but also like, do we have it? And Dave said we did. So then I just kept skating. I switched back to the flip it, which was a proper battle. That took like a lot of slams, a lot of boards in the water too. Like I had to have
every time you get back up, you have to drag a ladder out to it. Or?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's a you can't just like walk onto the top of this thing.
Yeah,
so you have to
out in the water.
We had to set up 2 ladders like this.
Okay.
So one's like going onto the dry part, and then another's going up, and it was super sketchy. So every time I was like nerve-wracking that I was just gonna like fall in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Like it was annoying with my board always going in the water, but I had prepared and brought like two complete setups. So if one fell in, I could take it out, dry it, and then skate the other one. And yeah, I didn't really expect it to be a cover. Dave surprised me with it in a really sweet way. With at the same time, he like introduced me to his baby son Weston at the time. So I went over to see his baby, but then he did this little thing like, oh, can you grab a blanket over there? And I picked up the blanket, and there was the cover. Awesome. I had already seen it on Instagram that day, which kind of sucked, so I knew it wasn't like a reveal that I had gotten the cover, but it was still really sweet, and I was so stoked that it came together. And I just love the I love the fact that like it was, you know, Dave is a really great friend. He had a goal. It wasn't just a skate photo. It was kind of like a novel type of photo that he wanted to shoot.
Right.
The way the blue colors came out, it was really cool. And the funny thing is like, I don't even think the footage really like came out. Like, it's in the credits for sure of my Transworld part, and it's in the part, but it's shot like from a GoPro, kind of artsy, like you don't even see me roll away.
And which Transworld video?
The video was Perpetual Motion,
okay.
Which was 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whose magazine was this?
Whose magazine?
Who got this copy?
Oh, and this is Michael Burnett's copy of the magazine.
The Transworld magazine.
Which is kind of amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
And wait, is it? Oh my God, that's kind of crazy. April 2013, and it's May 2023 right now. So
yeah.
just over the 10-year mark, which is kind of crazy.
I always like to ask guys about classic covers. Anything that stood out to you as a younger skater that's burned in your brain?
Weirdly, the one that jumped out to me is Phil Shao's Thrasher cover
At Miley?
Fort Miley.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And Karma's cover shot,
the shifty ollie out of the freeway thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those were early first magazines for me.
Okay.
And they just like stand out because I hung them on my wall forever, and they were just like so visually striking, and I think confusing because I didn't even know what tricks were happening, or like especially with the Karma cover, I'm like, what is he even doing?
Yeah.
You know?
And funny, I mean, both NorCal covers.
Yeah.
You growing up in that area.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't even think I knew that was the Karma's cover was San Francisco, but
Yeah.
definitely Fort Miley was somewhere I went as a kid, so I knew how steep those banks were and didn't understand why it could be so high.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of other super memorable covers. I was so psyched on Austin Kanfoush's recent Thrasher cover. That's in Napa.
Okay.
But I didn't even know that was in Napa. I hit him up like, yo, where is that? Somewhere in Europe? He's like, that's in Napa. I'm like, what?
Cool.
So that was really meaningful because I just think that's like the coolest. He moved there, so he lives there now.
Yeah.
Which makes it really great. But Austin, I've known since San Diego days.
Oh.
And then, yeah, I mean, there's quite a few, like, another one that really stands out is Karl Watson's switch front feeble for slap. That one is cool because like this, I still have my subscription notice on it, so it has my name and his cover, his signature, and I have it framed, and so that one's like really meaningful. I think some of Miles Silvas's covers really stand out because he's a kid that he's a grown man now, but like
protege back then.
Yeah, he was a little grom. I've watched him grow up since he was 14.
Yeah.
And just like his back nose one down the 18 for Transworld was like one of those covers that was just like,
what?
Like really progressing skateboarding with that, and he's just such a mellow guy, and we got to surprise him with that cover. That was really cool. And then let's see. Dan Z has shot some great covers. He's a really good friend. The Reynolds backside flip down Wallenberg.
Yeah.
He shot Suciu's first cover with the back nose one. And then, man, it's a hard one. I feel like there's a couple really just like great ones. Yeah, it's amazing how many friends have ended up with covers. All the covers related to the filming of this video were cool because I got to be there with them during the process, some of them. I wasn't there for Silas's 50-50 gap, but that was like a really cool to be a part of that video that was in.
Well, you've come up with quite a few. Normally, I'm like guys are deer in the headlights, can't think of anything on the spot. You're doing great.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to think about, you know. And like I was a cover on the wall kid, you know. It's kind of, I would like rip them off and throw them up. So there were a lot that like stood out. I would like mix them in with like Source and Vibe covers, which is kind of funny. But yeah, man, I feel like Levi Brown had a couple really cool covers too, and he was a camp counselor of mine. So when he got a cover of Skateboarder, I think it was for that Ollie, I was just like, oh my god, my counselor! Like I was so psyched on that. And then
I think
covers are great. I mean, it's just such a meaningful thing, like to see your friend or yourself on a magazine you grew up looking at.
For sure.
It's just so awesome.
Well, Walker, I think that about covers it. Psyched I was able to come out here to Martha's Vineyard and